Okay, so I'm going to be doing my video over evolution, kind of more of similar genomes with the Neanderthals. So the big question today is, where do humans, specifically known as Homo sapiens, originate from? This topic is pretty controversial, and scientists have different ideas of what they think we came from. What's fascinating is there were many species before us, such as the Neanderthals. They actually show that we have similar DNA, pretty much 98% match with their DNA, and they came before us, and we actually coexisted with them. They are our closest relatives, next to primates. Their DNA is pretty much comparable to close cousins, like I said. It is said that all human-like species are descendants of the same ancient human, Homo heidelbergensis. Not sure if I said that right, but the Neanderthals were around before Homo sapiens, around 230,000 years ago, and then they existed till about 28,000 years ago, which in the grand scheme of things really isn't that long ago that they went extinct, which is really kind of crazy. And then Homo sapiens emerged about 195,000 years ago. So Homo sapiens and Neanderthals actually coexisted for thousands of years together, which is really pretty interesting. We were actually said that Homo sapiens and the Neanderthals were said to have encountered each other whenever we were leaving Africa in search of, I think there was a drought in Africa, so Homo sapiens were leaving, and about 40, 50,000 years ago, we encountered the Neanderthals, and as a result, it is said that we did have some interbreeding, which this is also controversial, but it said we had some interbreeding with them, and we actually have Neanderthal genomes within our Homo sapien DNA. People outside of Africa, like I said, we were migrating away from Africa when we encountered them. So it is said that people outside of Africa have about 1 to 2% Neanderthal genes in them. It's really pretty cool, which means we had interbred with them or had a really common ancestor, which we know we had a common ancestor, but I really believe that we did interbreed with them. We found a skeleton dating back 40,000 years ago that is said that his great-great-grandfather was a Neanderthal. The DNA proved that, and that also proves that we had to have interbred with them because we do share genomes. And this can help answer the question as to why the Neanderthals disappeared. A lot of scientists believe that they didn't really disappear. We kind of fused with them and became more of like one, which I don't really know how true that is. The Neanderthals were a very small tribe, so they weren't around. They could have just died off due to there was a big ice age, even though they were cave people and they were used to the cold. You know, they were very small compared to the Homo sapiens, so we just were a lot more advanced than them. We had music, sculptures, art, all that kinds of things, and they didn't really have that. We're not sure if they had a language, but we know that Homo sapiens had a language, and we were a lot more advanced in the way we communicated and had more of a a close-knit tribe. We did know that the Neanderthals had buried people that died, and they did have, some common things, but not necessarily the way that Homo sapiens did. We were a lot more advanced, so that's probably a reason that they were killed off. The Neanderthals did give us certain immunities in our genes to certain pathogens that could have ensured our survival. So that also proves that we were probably interbred with them. But regardless of the beliefs of whether or not we did interbreed with Neanderthals, it is a fact that we do share genomes with these distant cousins of ours, and not distant, these close cousins of ours. We're very closely genetically related to them. And regardless if it is because we share a common relative or because of interbreeding, it does prove that our genes are not as different as we were to think with our extinct cousins, and with pretty much everyone around the world. We are very closely related to everybody because of our relatives.